Hello everyone, welcome back to the studio. So I have been asked a few times to do a Norwegian Fjord horse custom of some kind, and I've been really wanting to do one myself as well. I was thinking about customizing my Collecta Fjord horse stallion, but I was so worried about ruining him because I have never done a custom like this before. The opportunity finally presented itself when I purchased these Safari Ltd ponies. They were so small and perfect for testing coat colors, so I decided to customize two of them to look like little fjords. Alright, now that I'm done talking, let's get into the video. So I started off with this galloping pony as a base. I thought it would be easy to sculpt that classic Fjord mane since his mane was already standing up. And you can see I have already primed and cut down the mane on the base a little bit, and I'm going to continue prepping him by just shaving down all of the manufacturing seams and cutting off the text on his belly. And I sand down any other imperfections with a fine grit sandpaper. Then I start on his sculpt work with some air dry clay. I start by covering up his rough belly with some clay. And I make sure to add some fur texture so that it blends in with the plastic seamlessly. Then I move on to his mane. His mane looked relatively well before this stage, but I just went in and filled some of the gaps and did the top part as well. I also make sure to brush down my work with a wet paintbrush so that it turns out nice and smooth. For the top of the mane, I used a rough paintbrush to create some hair texture, and his mane is done. It actually doesn't look too bad. Then I continue with his forelock, just adding a little bit more fluffiness to it. And now all of his sculpt work is done, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. Moving on to the next horse, I used this base because I wanted to do a Norwegian Fjord horse with some grown out mane. I prepped her just like the last horse, but I cut her mouth so I could make room for a little tongue armature. After sanding her down a bit more, I finally sculpted on her tongue. And I think it looks pretty cute. I'm really happy with it. After that is done, it's time for several coats of primer. I make sure to water down my paint lots so I don't lose any detail. And here comes my cat to potentially destroy my project. For the base color, I mix up a warm white. For some reason, I had a very hard time trying to find the right color for this, but I eventually succeeded. I make sure to spray sealant after every layer of pastels, and now they are starting to look like little fjords. After the final layer of pastels is done, I seal it in with some matte clear sealant. Finally, it's time to add some details with acrylic paints. I start by painting the mane in a nice off-white color. Looking back, I probably should have made the paint a little bit darker, but oh well. And for some extra flair, I decide to add little zebra stripes to their legs. Now you can't see this part because of my hand, but painted on the dorsal stripe on their back. After I have added a few more details, I add some gloss nail polish to the eyes, nostrils, and mouth. And my tiny Fjord customs are finally done. Guys, I love doing this project so much. And it also got me really excited for something that is happening soon. I am actually going to Norway. And of course, I needed some little fjord horses to take photos of in Norway. Let me know what you guys think of these, and maybe I'll make some more. And please don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Takk for at du så denne videoen, og jeg vil se deg i neste. Ha det!